Hello, my name is Chris, and today I've got something very important to tell you, which is that you are not a smoker. Even if you think that you are, even if you believe that you are. Even if you're saying to me, Chris, I've smoked for 20 years. I've smoked 25 cigarettes today. I'm even smoking right now watching you on YouTube. Of course I'm a smoker. No, you're not a smoker, because smoking is something that we do. It is not something that we are, even though we allow it to define us, even though we allow smoking to become part of our identity. And that can be so problematic when we come to quit smoking and we can't seem to detach from this part of our identity. But we are not smokers. We weren't born as smokers. When we were in preschool, when we were learning to read and write, when we were that age, we didn't smoke. I don't remember going, now I know my A, B, C's. That didn't happen. I wasn't finger painting with one hand and smoking with the other. At some point, as we got older, we made a decision to start smoking. In fact, not even one decision. We likely started to smoke regularly as a result of a series of decisions. Because we made that first decision to have the first ever cigarette in our lives, and I'm willing to bet it was awful. We would cough and splutter and it would taste disgusting, and our bodies would reject this cigarette because there was nothing in it that the body needed. It was all poison. So the body's trying to reject all this gunk and it just, But then at some point we made another decision to have another cigarette. Maybe it was because we wanted to fit in or whatever the case may be. And we had to keep making these decisions over and over until we beat our own bodies into submission so that they stopped rejecting all the poison and just accepted the damage. And the more of these decisions we made, the more we allowed these few decisions to define us. We started to say, okay, I am a smoker. Smoking is now my identity. And we allowed this new identity that we created for ourselves to define every aspect of our lives. Just as someone might say, I'm an athletic person, therefore I do lots of athletics and sports. Just as a kind person would say, I'm a kind person, therefore I do lots of kind things. We say, I am a smoker, therefore I act in accordance with what a smoker should be doing. I am a smoker, therefore I smoke. I am a smoker, therefore there is something missing in my life if I don't have cigarettes. I am a smoker, therefore my reaction to stress, anger, just about any emotion on the planet is to light up a cigarette. I am a smoker, therefore my evening meal is not complete unless I light up a cigarette. Because smokers smoke after a meal, and I am a smoker, therefore that is what I do. Whew. You can probably think of many of your own examples of how smoking has come to form part of your identity and define your actions. I am a smoker, therefore I need extra time when I'm going to the airport so that I can have a few cigarettes before I get on an 8-hour flight. Right? But you are not a smoker. You've just done this one thing for a small period of your life. Even if that small period is 20, 30 years, you're going to live a long and happy life. You weren't born a smoker. There was a time in your life before you smoked, and there will be a time in your life after you smoked, because you can quit smoking in exactly the same way that you started. One decision at a time. That's all it takes. Years ago, you made that one decision to have that first cigarette. Now you make that one decision not to have that one cigarette. And then the next time you're tempted, next time a craving comes, next time a trigger comes, you just make one decision not to smoke in that moment. That's all quitting smoking is. We can spend all day talking about all the different methods and strategies for quitting smoking, but when it comes down to it, quitting smoking is making one decision not to smoke over and over again until you no longer need to make that decision. And that time will come. It came for me, it comes for so many people that I've met on this journey that I've been on. There comes a point where cigarettes are just not part of your lives anymore, or part of our lives anymore, and don't form part of our identity. There will come that time you just make one decision every time a cigarette, every time a trigger, every time a craving, make that decision not to cave into it, but to do something else. And you will shed this identity and shed this need to define ourselves by this one unhelpful, damaging thing that we do. And it's so important that we talk about this, because seeing cigarettes as part of our identity can put us off wanting to quit in the first place. I am a smoker, therefore I smoke here, I smoke there, therefore this is how my life is. And we start to tell ourselves things like, if I quit smoking, I will have to go about my life without this crutch, without this thing that I use. If I quit smoking, I will have to get through stressful situations without a cigarette. If I quit smoking, I will have to deal with my boss, my shouty kids, my traffic jam that I get into every day without a cigarette. If I quit smoking, I will have to go other places, be with other people, become a different person. And that's the story that we tell ourselves and make it sound really scary and awful, like this really negative thing. But all we need to do is swap a few words around. We are not smokers. Therefore, once we quit smoking, it is no longer, I will have to deal with stressful situations without a cigarette. It's when I quit smoking, not if, when I quit smoking, I will be able to deal with stressful situations without a cigarette. And you will. Quitting smoking doesn't make stressful situations go away. Trust me, I so wish that were the case. But now that I'm a few years since my last cigarette, I still get into stressful situations, but at no point does a cigarette enter the equation. I'm stressed, but I've got other coping mechanisms now. The same, not if I quit smoking, but when I quit smoking, I will be able to go wherever I want, see whoever I want, and be whoever I want to be. I no longer have to be the person who's defined themselves by a few unhelpful decisions that I made years ago. Maybe when I made those decisions, smoking served its purpose, but now it no longer does. And it stopped serving its purpose a long time ago, and yet I continued to do it because I told myself that I was a smoker and therefore I had to act in accordance with what being a smoker is. But I am not a smoker. You are not a smoker. We are not smokers, and we no longer have to do that. We can have this freedom. We can become these healthy, happy, non-smoking people, not ex-smokers. Ex-smokers to a degree still define themselves by their relationship to cigarettes. I used to smoke, but I don't anymore. Ex-smokers still have that thing of, I'm stressed, but isn't it great that I'm not having a cigarette? Whereas non-smokers go, I'm stressed, get on with it. There's not even a thought of, I don't have to smoke. It's just a natural thing. Brilliant. It really is. Trust me. You are not a smoker. Pretty soon, keep doing what you are doing, and you will not only be you will not only not be a smoker, you won't even be a person who is smoking. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful, or at least given you something to think about. For more videos like this on a regular basis, please do subscribe. For more support with your quit, please consider coming joining our wonderful community. It is called Finding Freedom. It is on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/findingfreedom1. There is this amazing group that I'm so proud to be a part of. People at all different stages of their quit supporting one another. And if you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy my book. It is called Quit Smoking and Be Happy, available in print and ebook forms. I'll put the links to that down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye.